This is T just saying, welcome to the Raw review. Now, a lot of people they do Raw reviews, well, most people, but they always have like Raw reviews. It's like nothing, special about what they're doing. So what I'm gonna do is this is the Raw review, the Autopsy report. Basically, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna review Raw, and then I'm gonna give my opinion now. Okay, what can be better done with every segment? Because Raw stunk. Raw was a boring show. The first 12 minutes I was watching this show, I was gonna switch the channel to watch something else. And that should not be because, I enjoy watching Raw for a long time. But this show was pretty bad. Not only that, when I took notes, I didn't my notes were like only did like one page of notes because everything else was pretty much boring. So let me get to it. The first was a segment opening up with MVP announcing the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, he comes to the ring. MVP does the talking. I liked this. This was like the only part I liked was Bobby Lashley. He was coming out with all these women. I think it's something new, and it's keeping the WWE champion fresh. You're gonna have to keep your champion fresh, so the champion won't get boring. So I like the beginning, and then Drew shows up. Drew shows up, talks about he should be WWE champion, and then Kofi Kingston showed up. Now I paused this part because Kofi Kingston, a lot of people might not like Kofi Kingston, but Kofi Kingston actually cut a good promo. I like that promo. He brought up something. He's like, every time Drew McIntyre he gets a championship match, whether it's WrestleMania or WrestleMania Backlash, or he wants one in Hell in a Cell. And I kind of agree with Kofi. But there's a but to this. Drew McIntyre, to me, I have no problem with Drew McIntyre. But I think he's the only one that's stepping up. I think he's the only one that WWE can actually depend on. That's why you see him in like all these championship matches. Who else do they have to step up? I mean, they lost confidence in Jeff Hardy. They don't do nothing with Elias. AJ Styles is regulated to a tag team champion. Sheamus is regulated to the United States champion. The only person that the WWE can count on is Drew. Is there anybody else? I mean, they 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 put like Braun Strowman in the championship match, but you can tell that Braun Strowman didn't even look confident in what he was doing. The only person that could step up is Drew. Kofi Kingston, I don't know. When Kofi Kingston showed up, it's very obvious that they don't have anybody to challenge for the WWE Championship besides Drew. Drew's the only one. And they don't have anybody else, which is, to me, is pathetic. Because back then in the WWE, anybody who looked credible can step up for the WWE Championship. You got Stone Cold, you got Shawn Michaels, you got Bret Hart, you got The Rock, you got Mankind, you got The Undertaker, you got Kane, you got Batista, you got Triple H, you got Randy Orton, John Cena. All these people can step up and win the championship. But nowadays, this is the same thing on SmackDown, and I will do a SmackDown autopsy report once I've seen the show this week. But there's no one that is stepping up, and this makes Drew will fight for the championship all the time because there's no one stepping up. Some people need to start stepping up. The point is, you want to be a WWE wrestler to go for the championship. Start getting encouragement from backstage and do something about it. So Also, the Raw commentary team sucks. You know, by the time I recorded this, I heard that one of the Raw commentary guys, I forgot his name. He left. Thank God he left because he was terrible. He was like he's worse than Mike Emily. You know when they made him the announcer. This guy, he knew nothing about wrestling. He was just not watchable. And I don't know why they still got Byron Saxton out there. Like I said, replace the Rock commentary team. You keep Corey Graves. Corey Graves is at least passable, but bring Booker T. Bring the comedy. Booker T is funny. Bring comedy to the Raw announcement team. Bring the play-by-play guy. Todd Phillips. Bring him back, and keep Corey Graves as the color commentary. Like Byron Saxton adds nothing. Like what is Byron Saxton supposed to be? I looked up Wikipedia. Apparently he's supposed to be the color commentator. What? What? No, he don't sound like a color commentator. He just seemed like a waste of time. Like everything he says is a waste of time. So get him off. Replace him with Booker T. So and then bring back Todd Phillips. Simple. Then keep Corey Graves. I'm fine with that. Because the Raw announcement team sucked. And also, get rid of Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce, he's supposed to be the Raw SmackDown general manager. Get rid of this man. You know, he has nothing to the show. He's like Byron Saxton. You got a lot of people out here who get camera time and they're not even worth it. Get rid of Byron Saxton, get rid of Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville. Get rid of them. They add nothing to the show. They're a waste of time. Every time I see them, I'm like, oh, them again. Oh, get them off. But let's continue on with the autopsy. So we got a match between Drew McIntyre and Kofi Kingston. This match should have been the main event. It should have been the main event. The match wasn't that bad. It was kind of different because, you know, you got Kofi Kingston in the title picture now. They both can have a serious match. The ending was that no one won because Bobby Lashley and MVP showed up and they started beating up Kofi and Drew, and then Drew got the upper hand. Yeah, this should have been the main event. We go backstage with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Rhea Ripley should not be the Raw Women's Champion. That belt should have stayed with Asuka, and it should have been Asuka versus Alexa Bliss in Hell in a Cell. Like you can have like a Hell in a Cell match with like the old Asuka, like the crazy Asuka versus the weird Alexa Bliss. That would have been a perfect match. But no, apparently they gave Rhea Ripley the Raw Women's Championship. They gave it to her kind of early. We barely even know Rhea Ripley. The last time we saw Rhea Ripley was when she was fighting against like Charlotte Flair, and she was like the NXT Women's Champion. Charlotte Flair was like the Raw Women's Champion. A lot of people have short-term memories. So when you bring up Rhea Ripley should have been brought up, but you could have had a match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair without the championship. I mean, you can have like women's matches that don't involve a championship. And it should have been Asuka. Asuka should have won at WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair should have showed up at WrestleMania, distracted Rhea Ripley, and then Asuka could have got the win. But apparently they didn't do that. So it's something I'm really not interested in. And I kind of like Rhea Ripley. But you guys gave her the title. You guys really messed her up because everyone's like, why she's winning the title? It makes no sense. Then Nikki Cross shows up, and the match between Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley, a 2-minute match, is actually next. Let's see, Nikki Cross, she beat the clock. They made the Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley look stupid because it was obvious that you was involved in a 2-minute match and you didn't try to beat her in 2 minutes. Like you was still beating her up and you was like, oh no, it was a 2-minute match? I didn't know. It made her look stupid. It made your champion look stupid. So congratulations on doing that, Raw. Um, we go backstage with Kofi Kingston, Drew McIntyre, Adam Pearce. They were Kofi and Drew were arguing back and forth. I like Kofi's confidence. Kofi actually has good confidence. It made me, when he was like, "I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat Bobby Lashley." That was good confidence. He didn't look scared in front of Drew, even though Drew looks like a big monster. But Kofi Kingston, he had a confidence, and Drew's like he acting like a cocky person, acting like, "Well, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat you." So, and Adam Pearce made a match. Um, Kofi Kingston versus Drew McIntyre. The winner gets Bobby Lashley in Hell in a Cell. Again, Adam Pearce adds nothing. I say get rid of him. Hire Ric Flair. Hire Ric Flair to be the Raw General Manager. I think it'll be good because Flair actually has an edge to him. Adam Pearce is boring. He's boring like I can't even think of it because I'll be bored thinking about it. Then you have Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. This match was why? Why is this match happening? We saw them wrestle last week. There's no point of this match again. I mean, Asuka now you're hurting Asuka even more. The match was boring. It wasn't even worth it. I enjoy watching Asuka. Now, Asuka should just leave. Go somewhere else because they're not really using her. They're using her to, Charlotte. I think Charlotte has a lot of pull backstage to the point where she's destroying characters. She's destroying Asuka. It's not even worth talking about this match. The match was boring. It's the same old type of match. Nothing fresh. This made the show even boring. There was nothing new. And we go backstage with MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Adam Pearce. Now, if this was Roman Reigns would get Adam Pearce to show up. But they did this backwards where Bobby Lashley's supposed to be this dominant champion, and someone was like, Adam Pearce wants to see you. And Bobby Lashley should have been like, man, screw that, man. Have him come to me. I'm the almighty WWE champion. And have Adam Pearce come to him because there was no point of what Adam Pearce had to say. He's like, if you and MVP show up to the Drew and Kofi match, I'm gonna suspend you for 90 days. Oh, okay. Who cares? Then we go to Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Cedric Alexander won. It was a 50-50 booking. I understand what Shelton Benjamin is doing. Shelton Benjamin, he's being, the guy who provides charity to Cedric Alexander. Because Cedric Alexander, he's trying to build up Cedric Alexander to be something. I like Shelton Benjamin. This Cedric Alexander thing is not. Well, I'd rather see Cedric Alexander than Charlotte Flair. But I can't stand Cedric Alexander's voice. It seems like he's like yelling. He's trying to be tough. But I just put the TV on mute and just have him wrestle. It was a 50-50 booking match. If they were to have a match, it should be for something. It should be if Shelton loses, he leaves Raw. But it's nice what Shelton is doing. And we have a next match between Riddle and Xavier Woods. A lot of commercial breaks in this show and in this match. I just wasn't really interested in the match. The only part that I was interested in is when Riddle did the RKO and then he started to act like Randy Orton. I still don't understand the pairing between Randy Orton and Riddle, but I was kind of thinking maybe the Fiend has something to do with it. but Randy Orton actually defeated the Fiend. So it's just okay. It's just that's not Randy's character. All of a sudden he's like let's team up. So Randy Orton, he does his own storylines. Maybe he understands what's the concept of being with Riddle, because I still don't understand. Then we have the next match between AJ Styles and Jackson Riker. I realized that this guy was Gunner from TNA. I didn't know. It was a heel versus heel match. I didn't know who AJ Styles is to face. I don't know. The only thing that really interested me was when Almas, he was running around the ring. Almas, they should get Almas to do like different stuff. Like if they get him to do different stuff every week, I'd be kind of interested in Almas and AJ Styles, because just keep Almas, just keep him like a mystery to the point where you're like, oh man, I didn't know he can do this stuff. Kind of keep him more interested. Other than that, this match wasn't really interesting. And Jackson Riker got the win. Okay. Then we had Sheamus versus Humberto Carrillo. I didn't care. Again, I didn't care for the match. I was just hoping that Keith Lee comes back. Keith Lee will be perfect coming back to this role, because you have Humberto Carrillo, and then you got Ricochet. Ricochet even showed up. Ricochet. And that was it. Then we have the main event. The main event of Raw. Natalya and Tamina versus Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Who in the Blues Clues? Who in the Blues Clues came up with this? Why is this the main event? Natalya and Tamina ain't nothing. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax ain't nothing. How is this the main event? I mean, this should have been like the match when they had Kofi and Drew. This should have been the match that happened at that time. Man, who cares? Who cares about this main event? I mean, man, you know what? Natalya and Tamina won. Who cares? After all the stuff you've been doing to these four women, nobody cares. I mean, I didn't even see the ratings. But who gives a crap about this main event? What was the point of this main event? What was the point? WWE, this is what I think about your show. It was nothing but a waste of time. And then they had like vigilantes of people talking about we going live. They had like Jeff Hardy and John Morrison and Braun Strowman. I wonder how many people they're going to get to fill up a Raw arena. Hey, they're going to be handing out a lot of free tickets, because ain't nobody going to be interested in seeing this. Ain't nobody going to be interested. WWE, you can do better. That was the autopsy. That was like the worst autopsy. This is my first autopsy. WWE can do better. Man, I'm just 1.8 million. That's what they got last week. I don't know what the ratings are this week. But WWE just don't care. They don't give a crap, because they know people are going to watch this stuff like me. I'm going to watch this stuff. So maybe one day I can believe that they're actually going to have a good show. But they didn't have a good show. And get Byron Saxon out the commentary team. You got that other guy out. Make the show fresh. Make the show worth watching. You're not making it worth watching. Well, anyway, it's just TJ saying, and this concludes the Raw Review Autopsy Report. See ya.